folks, Mark here at RC Planes, Copters and Trucks. Well, I just finished a new project, and that is I built from scratch a set of floats for my OMP hobby M2 helicopter. And there they are, side view and front view, back view. Alright, now we'll do a float test here. Well, we can't because the water's not quite deep enough. It's not quite deep enough. Alright folks, well, that being the case, we'll just put that there. Alright folks, well I can assure you it floats perfectly because I tested it in the in the big deep sink in the garage. So what I did here, is I had this helicopter and I wanted to make some floats for it. And in the past I've used foam, kind of like a pipe insulation foam, which has got holes in it. And those pick up a little bit of water when you're sitting in the water before you take off and whatnot. And that can make them heavy. And so I thought, well, what's the lightest watertight thing I can use to make pontoons? And I decided to go ahead and use Balsa. So you can buy a package. You can buy a package in a little container like this from Amazon, which has in it, I think about 10 or 12 of these Balsa sheets. So what I did is I took these Balsa sheets, and here's what I learned to do. I took the Balsa sheet here, and I put it in the deep sink in the garage, in the water, until it became so pliable that I am able to mold it into pontoons. Now here's one pontoon I made for a microcopter, right? And you can see it's, there we go, there's the end of it. You can see it's on the top here, it's flat. That's where your skids mount, on the top. And then other than that, it's round. It's got end caps on it, right? So I made the same thing for this M2. And so what I did is I took these, I needed two of these sheets of balsa, end to end, to be long enough for the floats. And that was too long, I had to trim them, but to start off with end to end. So first I put Gorilla Glue, Crazy Glue, right here. Can we see it? Okay, first I put that. Can we see this? We can see that. I put that on the end. First I put Crazy Glue on the end of this here balsa, like that, and then stuck another piece up against it. Boom. Okay. And I made one for each float. Okay. And after I soaked it in the water, warm water, lukewarm water, I was very easily, but with great caution, able to bend it like this. Now you can see, this is without any water. You can see how far you can bend this without any water. You see that? But the water makes it, you can bend it even more, and it prevents cracking, as long as you watch, as long as you're careful. So I took this here, pieces of this, and I made these floats here. Oh, and by the way, when I was curling the floats to make them round, let me show you this. It's kind of important. So I was trying to, when the piece of balsa wood was really soaking wet, then I would take these empty pill bottles here, and I would use this to put one on each end. Can we see this? Now we can see it. You see that? There we go. I would put one of these on each end. Can we see it now? I think so. Yeah, I would put one of these on each end and wrap the really wet balsa wood piece around that, and I would put one on each end. Put one on each end like this. So, and then I would put rubber bands and or zip ties around. So you can see that's pretty round right now. Anyway, so that's how I made the balsa bend to make the floats. Was I soaked them in water, warm water, lukewarm water, okay, and then I glued them together with the Crazy Glue. It works beautifully, and I used this paint right here, which is an acrylic paint. See, I keep getting in the shadow. I'm making my own shadow. There we go. I used this acrylic paint to paint it, and what I did, instead of using a brush, I wanted the paint to be very thin. I wanted the paint to protect the balsa when in use in the water, but I didn't want it to be thick because it adds weight. I want it to be thin. So instead of putting on with a brush, I used a really damp paper towel and put on a thin coat that more soaked into the balsa than it did coat the exterior. It kind of like a stain. So it's waterproof, but it's light. But anyway, so I bent the balsa the shape I needed. So here's, take a look at the front here. There's the front there like that. Got a little bit of unpainted material there in the front, lower front. And then here's how she looks from the side. See? See, maybe we'll set her back down and do it that way. There we go. Anyway, there's how she looks from like that. And over like that. And I wanted to go with the same color as the copter, just for fun. Make it kind of zippy. So, and I went with the pretty wide, I didn't go with the fully round pontoons because this way I think is more stable and it gives me more of a flat surface on the top so that I can better, so my helicopter and the floats can better be connected together. Yep. Took me like 3 hours to do this. You wouldn't imagine it would, but it did. About 3 hours. Yeah, and then as you can see, I've got aircraft ID number on the side there. Aircraft ID number on the side. And as you can see right here, am I in the shadow? Am I in the way of things? If you look at the front ends of these, oh, now I'm getting to mine. Oh, come on now. Here we go. Let's look at the back end. So you can see the back end. There we go. See how I've got caps here that I made on the back end. These are fully hollow, fully waterproof, very buoyant. There you go. My FPV antenna and my FPV system is right there. Let's see, I'm in my shadow again. Right, center dead screen. There we go. Dead center screen. My FPV system there, and the antenna. See the antenna center screen. So there we go. She's ready to fly. Again, I did a buoyancy test. She's just perfect. Perfect CG and buoyancy. Perfect CG and buoyancy with the floats. And again, they are very, very, very light because they're made of balsa. Wow. Okay. Alright then. So the next video will be, not surprising, the next video will be maiden flight with the floats. Alright? Let's now see me and my shadow ruining my shots every single time. I'm trying to find that parting shot, and we'll just have to go with that right there. Okay folks, thanks for watching, thanks for subbing, and thanks for sharing your content with me and everybody else on the planet. Mark, RC Planes, Copters, and Trucks signing off right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. By the way, these floats cost almost nothing to make. I forgot to throw that in and mention that. Bye.